Great.
Good morning.
Uh,
Good morning to all
Wonderful.
the participants and the esteemed speaker. With the kind consent of principal and convener, we are starting today's session of EICT sponsored 1 week STTP program. So we have today with us Dr. Basavaraj Girivannar as well as his fellow colleague Mrs. Amita Ganapati. These both will be our speakers for today's session. And to briefly introduce our guests for today, we have Dr. Basavaraj Girivannar. He is Chairman and Managing Director of Creagen Agri and Biotech Private Limited. Sir holds a PhD degree from Texas A&M University College Station, USA. His area of specialization includes horticulture. His professional experiences are that he is a chairman and managing director at Creagen Agri and Biotech Private Limited, Rico Winery Private Limited, Agri Up Technologies, and Art of Agriculture Foundation. Sir has quite a few awards and recognitions with 5 patents, 12 publications, and 17 national and international presentation talks. He's also been awarded with Udyog Ratan Award and M. Billionth Award for 2017. Sir, the platform is over to you to start with the session.
Great, madam. Thank you for the kind introduction. Good morning to all, and I thank Dr. Manjunath and Professor C.R. Patil for pulling me to this opportunity to connect with the faculties, esteemed faculties of the Oxford School of Engineering and various faculties, joining over this morning session to understand what is startup, what is scale up, what is the role of innovation in transforming a startup to scale up. I have been, involved starting day one as a college campus startup guy to scale up guy to now building startup in a startup to, bringing innovation as the basis for scale up, which Indian startups can showcase on the global map. With this thought, I have structured my discussion, rather talk or this thing, discussion or case study you would call, are my personal experiences of taking a startup to scale up and putting innovation as a basis for scale up and also bringing more solutions, more technologies, more scale up opportunities in agri and agri tech space. I have, as part of the introduction mentioned, I started the Creagen as a college campus startup at Texas A&M University, and then put up a Rico winery again as a part of not going back to United States. And I have Agri App, again a college or campus startup right here in Bangalore out of the GKBK, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. And I also run Art of Agriculture Foundation for benefiting lesser privileged farming community and people like that. So with this startup background, I would like to walk you through what is this agriculture ecosystem for startup to scale ups. Friends, this is a golden decade for agri space. 2020 to 2030, agriculture will not be any more science. It will be teched up space. You have seen this happening to banking sector through fintech, communication technologies. Internet has transformed, and millions and millions of apps have made connecting to the ecosystem, at fingertip. So agriculture is no different for transformation, but agriculture is vast, and it is not that easy space like either like banking or communication industry. However, I'm going to set a ecosystem enablers which are in line, and if done well, I think people are planning to go for Moon and Mars. So agriculture is not that complicated, thing. So here I have mentioned some 4 or 5 points. Agriculture ecosystem for startup to scale ups. Some background. Last time I presentation to Atmanirbhar Bharat Pusa Krishi, there were 5,000 agri startups. I'm talking agri startups only. In India, we have around 50,000 plus startups. 10% of them are agri startups. That's huge. That's huge. However, we talk about 50% of the people, but people coming to startup in agri domain are few and far, for the fact that the people who are engaged in agriculture are not educated, are not degree holders, are not coming from technology background. Having said, a lot of people who are sons of farmers, sons coming from rural background are up there in many, places where they could imagine and put time and effort, and possibly a startup also for agriculture. So background of the ecosystem getting ready, I have mentioned in 4 points. 1,000 crore startup seed fund from the prime minister is there, and the Modi government. I was also part of doubling farmers income sessions many times, and one time Modi ji spent half a day with us, and he is ambitious about promoting FPOs, farmer producer organizations, meaning farmer owned, farmer operated companies. The government is planning to promote 10,000 of them. Of course, it takes some time, but there are 4,000 of them already in the space. Amit, I wanted to go back. Yeah, please. Doubling farmer income. Again, yesterday, Chief Minister is also talking in conjunction with the Prime Minister's favorite program. And the last but not the least is an enabler, AgriStack and the data ecosystem. If you look at the Aadhaar and India stack, you have AgriStack or livelihood stack, which is going to play a major role. So this is where the 2020, last year, add-on of the COVID also brought digital technologies to the agri space or agri-tech space. So ecosystem is ready, I would like to say through this slide. Next slide, please. Amita, next slide, please.
Yeah.
I wanted to reflect upon my journey, startup to scale up now. Yeah, you got to learn that in 2007 I started just out of fresh PhD. The day I graduated, I got my startup registered out of the campus, Texas A&M University, one of the largest publicly funded university in the United States. Well, that is a year I started, but no money, nothing, just like any guy who would be dreaming to do something. I was one of them. Nothing more than that. But I happened to 2007 and 8, very bad years in US. The economy is matured, but they hit the recession. So I immediately following year relocated to Bangalore, start India-based startup. Again, I registered, and we have done a scale up now in our last 12, 13 years. By 2025, we would like to be scale up by global means, global scale. And as mentioned, Rico was a fallback for failure in the journey at the early stage. So I had a fear of failure, like any startup founder would have, or So Rico Winery is basically winemaking unit out of Bijapur. That also, fortunately, we succeeded in it. And AgriApp as an agri-tech ecosystem enabled to bring economic and ecological viabilities to focused around farmers and ecology, happened to be, again, successful. We have 1.5 million downloaded app in the Google Play Store. We have around 100 people associated with AgriApp. And we are running a very unique project called BOPIS, Book Online Pick in Store. And Art of Agriculture Foundation has said it's more of natural thing, larger than life. Opportunities to be connected with farming community, farming people, agriculture. Food production is a fundamental industry, profession rather. So we need to do more and more for agriculture. In that context, as a learned guy, as a committed guy, I have this foundation to run many of these things. Any of the students who would like to learn and do impact, more than welcome to associate the foundation. So here are the 4 institutions which, one is two are scale-ups, and another one is startup, another one is, dedicated to larger than life. So next slide, please. See, the 5-step $2 million product from an idea. See, startup is an idea. Startup is a wish. Startup is a plan. Startup is an idea, I would like to say. And to convert this idea into a stable startup or scale up, we have 5 steps involved. Number one is idea has to be documented. It's like constructing your grand house. Okay, everybody wants to own a house, but few people, do all that needs to be done. Constructing house is a definitive thing, not uncertainty is least, but putting a startup and taking it to scale up or success is uncertainty factors kick in. If you look at even in the United States, 85% of the food businesses, either startup or scale ups, fail. This is the data. I'm not telling you anything except data. So an idea has to be documented. Blueprint has to be done with a background research. Otherwise, startup remains a wish. And second step, very important, is research a bit more on product market fit. What is that? What you want? Everybody wants to change the world. That's fantastic. We should all be, doing great things in this world, in this one life, right? So that's why we put a startup. But how do we do this? That's a wish. Now we have a document which gives a blueprint. Then we have to get going with that proposition, that plan, face your market, face your customer, address the problem, bring the product or service or technology. We typically connect with external, world in the business ecosystem, either through a product, either through a service, or through technology. This is what typically do, unless you are an innovation startup where you sell your license your technology. Well, technology got to be technology, whether you license or you put that to B2B or B2C or C2C context. So that is number two. Number three is put that into minimum viable product. If that fits, that is what I call 1.0 or 1.1. Then fourth is validated. Once you have the product out in the consumer hand or technology out there for utility, you have to bring validated learnings along with earnings. If not earnings, validated learnings. Then the fifth point is perfect the product in multiple iterations and launch it to wider markets to achieve the scale. These are 5 steps provided you have all that is captured in point number 1. The scale up is a fantastic journey. Then you can figure out raising money, raising going private equity, venture capital, or IPO. Those are all. There are plenty of people. Let me tell you, there are thousands of people in the world who can do that one for you. But nobody will do these 5 steps or 5 points. Everybody comes and looks at you. These 5 points. Okay, where is your plan? Where is your product which is fitting the market? And where is your evolving minimum viable product? They don't even care if it misses many of the features, but they care, is it being accepted by customer? Is it differentiated? Is it innovative? So this is what I call a multi-million-dollar product. Typically comes from innovation approach and innovation mindset. Yeah, this is all I have gone through myself. And when I did the last couple of years extensive reading, I found lean startup guys talking about this, Amazon guys practicing it, Google, Facebook guys are on top of this approach through design thinking, agile approach. I was like, wow, okay, intuitively I have done it. So people are doing it. This is the way. So these are the 5 steps. Next slide, please. Amit, I request you to change the slide. Great. So again, to emphasize, startup is all about an idea, as I said. We look at what is the problem we are addressing, what are the solutions, where are the profits. Keep it very simple. Sometimes we get lost, but getting lost is a very, very bad proposition or bad idea in a startup. Every startup want to become a scale up or a Fortune 500 company. You know, what is the difference between a startup and a Fortune 500 company? Very simple. Fortune 500 companies bring many systems and structures, um, which becomes most of the instances, if not all, very bureaucratic hierarchical organizations. They miss because they are multi-generational in their leadership, multi-layered, multi-generational. They sometimes miss, but there are many who are having structure and functionalities of a startup. So startup is all about idea to address three questions and graduate to enterprise. So once you are enterprise, you have to remember your once startup, stay startup. That is what Amazon does. Amazon tells day one, everybody should have an approach and attitude of day one when the founder started the mission. This slide, I would like to say, we have one, two, three startup. One is what is the problem? What is the solution? Where are the profits? If we stay focused and build our proposition around these three without complicating, we have clarity. Next slide, please. The next slide.
Yes, I have done, sir.
No, I don't see the transition, please. Yeah, idea product blueprint. I think you should have a clarity. You should study. You should understand. There are hundreds of thousands of startups in the world. Okay, the space is limited. Human problems are limited in a business context. I'm telling. Okay, business context, human problems are limited. You know, I would have probably only 100 problem which I want to get it solved through, you know, in a business platform, not personal. I mean business problems. So there are 100,000 or even more than 100,000 startups out there. So we need to document our idea and product blueprint. That's the step number one. I'm elaborating what I said already. Next slide.
It is taking a bit time, sir. So few seconds.
Right. So thank you, Amita, for that. Product market fit. This is very important. We have seen many companies having product market fit and many missing. Many people missing innovation. Probably all of you professors know that how Nokia missed being product market fit over a period of time. Their product was perfectly fitting in 90s and early 2000. They were number one phone company in India in early 2000. Up until 2007, 8. And then they missed to innovate and align. They missed to bring touch screen, number one. Number two is they missed to align with Android, which was becoming dominant rather than Symbian, their operating system. So only these two things, made them the company today, which was sold to somebody and again sold to somebody. Now it is almost junked. Hardly in a span of 10 years, top one to nowhere. That is where the innovation matters. That is where continuous evolution, innovation, adoption, key for the success. If we mess, I tell my team, we are messing. If we miss, we are messing. So product market fit is an ongoing, whether it is a startup or scale up or a Fortune 500 company. We have to do that. Startup is no different. Startup is more risky because we don't have established, teams, established system and structure with plenty of capital. So startup becomes more vulnerable. So we need to figure out product market fit constantly. Next slide. This is my favorite thing. While innovation is not in test tubes or plates or your labs, it is always with your technology playing through your offering to your customers. Okay, a lot of people in academia get confused, but I'll tell you what contributes to your customer acceptance, customer wow factor. So minimum viable product is a demo product which you can showcase, or product which you can present it for market. This is very critical for many startups, and let me tell you, 1 out of 10 only gets you the revenue. So that's a simple scale.
Sir, we are unable to hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now, Amita?
Yeah, you're audible now. You're audible.
Yeah. Next slide, please. And validated learning, what is that? My product is great. My product is great for myself. Is it great for customer? That's a question. What customers are saying, what customers are missing, what customers want, number one. In the context of evolving ecosystem and technology and computation, how best I can learn from them. This is what constitutes validated learning or else earning. That is MVP 2.0. And you have to keep on evolving yourself to many of the learnings. Look at 10 years back, you had Samsung phone. Today they have evolved. So is an Apple phone. Everything evolves. So startup should learn how do we evolve continuously through validated learning process. Next slide, please.
You're able to see me?
Achieve the market share. See, once you have put up that system in place, the innovation constantly, we have to think about market share. That happens through strategic and purposeful scaling. Amita, my colleague, will talk about how we are scaling up Creagen, how we are strategically positioning AgriApp for scaling. Okay, because agri-tech is not easy space. The fintech companies, which pure play digital people, okay, it's easy for them. I mean, the factors affecting scaling are limited, and they can do digital. Agri is different. The factors affecting the scaling are plenty, and challenges are many. It is not pure digital; it's physical, and it is out there in rural area, in the farms, not in the wallet, not in the credit cards or your bank accounts. So we need to know our space very well. If we don't know, we just do the aping, we miss it. And there are, let me tell you, there are many elite people from IIM and IITs. Okay, they come to agri-tech, unfortunately, with a less learning or less background understanding. They do a lot of things, put a lot of money, time, effort. Unfortunately, they are missing. Okay, the reason is this is complicated stuff. And this is, as I said, in the field, and the factors affecting this startup ecosystems are many. So while looking at market share, we have to continuously look at innovation and scaling. This will only make a startup as a scale up. Next slide. Amit, the next slide, please.
Yeah.
My story, I would like to take a couple of minutes and say this. We got to have a vision and mission with a purposeful plan. We got to start and define, learn, experiment, and validate as per lean startup principles. If any of the professors are interested to apply my thoughts of startup, actually there is a book which happens to be reflecting many of my endeavors, and I refer that book as a startup book. It's called Lean Startup by Eric Rice. Please refer that book. That gives you a lot of things, and I'm playing that playbook for doing startup in a startup and also scale up. Third is constantly pivot. Pivoting is very important for you because you don't know what is out there 5 years from now, how the space would look like. I think probably 20 years prior to now, we did not know the phone would play this significant role. 10 years prior, we did not know the smartphone would play this significant role. So every 10 years or every 5 years now or 10 years, things are changing. Government is almost considering to limit or ban the petrol diesel cars. Look at that. If you are in automotive industry, if you are not ready, the others are already on the edge of, taking the competition head on. How do we do that? You got to pivot. You got to constantly doing the pivoting. The fourth is always do the testing, batching it, measure, adopt, then scale. Don't go for scaling. Okay. And I even actually had this idea of advising governments also. Governments also, you got to learn and adopt a startup way of doing. And the fifth is my favorite, metric for measurement on regular time intervals. See, doing without measuring amounts to a lot of futility, no utility. We need to constantly measure what matters. And as Amazon says, keep asking questions if you are measuring. So without measurement, the scale up is futile exercise. This is what 5 add-on points I wanted to mention my story at the startup to scale up right here in Bangalore. Next slide, please. Amita, next slide, please.
Yeah, you're able to see the slide now, sir?
No, I don't.
No?
This is yeah, I can see now. And let me tell you, innovation is multidimensional. Innovation is everywhere. Innovation should be pretty much part of manager and above people involved in the organization. Either it is a product innovation, market innovation, business model innovation, strategy innovation, or management innovations. Innovation is not innovation anymore. Innovation is everywhere. So during scaling, we have to unleash the power of innovative minds or inventive minds. So if there is any take home message from my understanding is, once you are a scale up, once you want to become an enterprise, remember you have to look at, the innovation is multidimensional. Innovation is not just even 5 points I mentioned here, many points. So I wanted to emphasize on this slide too. I have only few slides. I wanted to have only 3 slides as a take-home message for the potential, people who are having potential interest in startups or would like to understand a startup and scale up and mentor the students out there. Next slide, please.
It's the last slide, sir. So if they have any questions and answers, they can just.
This is the last slide. Okay, great. Yeah. So before I pass on to next, my colleague Amita, yeah, I would like to take any questions or comments if the faculties have any comments or questions, please. She will continue my presentation, other part of the presentation with an example, but I will be audience. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. One thing I am very impressed with your motivational talk. And what I feel after hearing you is that if you can help us in getting into some 4 or 5 agri startups, we are running this program in another 3 phases. So we would like to call all agri startups onto this forum so that all our faculty members will interact with them and they'll try to join hands with them. And definitely it will be motivating for us. If you can help us in reaching out a few more agri startups, so it will be of great help for us. We can have a kind of debate or discussion in exclusive for one day.
May I know your name, Professor?
Dr. Manjunath, sir.
Great. Dr. Manjunath, what I'll do is we are doing a startup street actually. I'll see what best could be done in terms of startup is more of working with the founders for me. Okay. If the people are good, we can definitely look at either advising or enabling or empowering. Definitely we can take up that discussion post this thing. And we are a startup. We don't want to really play the big boys game at this point in time. But however, as part of my commitment to the startup ecosystem and my inclination to towards academics, definitely I'll do my bit or my part in doing things. Great. Any other comments?
Participants, you can freely ask the questions, or you can chat it in the put in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions.
If there are no questions, my colleague, I request Amita madam to start the next part. Amita, over to you, and you can also take some more questions at the end of the session. It was really nice connecting with all of you. Thank you very much. I'll be an audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for coming over here and taking your precious time and addressing the faculty members. And on behalf of my department, participants, management, I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful time. And cheers to all the startups out there. Thank you very much. Amita, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Manjunath, can I go ahead?
You can proceed. You can proceed. No issue.
Hello, everyone. To introduce myself, I'm Amita Ganapati, working as a senior scientist at Creagen. So from past 7 years, I'm associated with the Creagen. This is about my background, and what I'll be doing is now I'll be taking you through the presentation where I'll be covering about the company profile, our decade journey towards providing the solutions for sustainable agriculture, few of our innovative products, and also some agri innovation which we have initiated from past few years. So basically who we are. So I'm talking basically about the Creagen. So Creagen, we are into development of innovative products for comprehensive crop protection. So we are one of the largest producer of biochemical fertilizers, biofertilizers, phosphate-rich organic manure, and biocontrol agents. Our products are basically tailor-made, which helps in improving the ecosystem and bringing the sustainable to the agriculture. Currently, we are catering the domestic markets, and we are planning to go globally as well. We at Creagen believe agriculture scientific information belongs to the farmers. So we have launched an innovative mobile-based agri app to revolutionize the agriculture extension and information sharing related to the crop production and protection. Our agri app is on precision and predictive agriculture while building a strong agri ecosystem for the benefits of the farmers, economy, and ecology. So to talk about the founder of our company, so I think Dr. Salma has already given the background of our MD. He's an, I can say he's a first generation high impact entrepreneur with a lot of scientific knowledge, and he has decade of experience in industry and research both in India as well as USA. And as Ms. Salma has mentioned, he has granted with 5 patents in his name, and few more to grant in probably by next 1 or 2 years. So our Creagen mission and vision is to provide cost-effective and eco-friendly products and service to the farming community in a sustainable way. And our vision is to empower the farmers and associates as an entrepreneur in achieving our mission. So our managing director has been awarded as a Udyoga Ratna Award for his achievement in the field of agriculture, and also Creagen has won Bio Excellence Award as a startup company in the year 2016. So this is a decade journey towards providing the solution for sustainable agriculture. As our MD mentioned, we are born on August 10, 2007 at Texas A&M University campus, College Station, USA. So after completion of PhD, so we started our company at Texas at USA. And 2008, our former Vice Chancellor UAS Dharwad, he has invited our MD to start an incubation or establishment lab at University of Agriculture Science Dharwad. So that was the first one of the private company where any government organization has given an opportunity for us to develop some integrated nutrient management related products for the benefit of the farmers for a sustainable agriculture. So in 2009, we Creagen developed lot of INM related products in the form of biofertilizers, biopesticides, and lot of plant growth regulator, and did lot of testings in the field and in semi-field condition, multi-location trials, even in the university also. So in 2010, we launched our flagship or one of a kind of product called DNP. This is our major flagship product. Even now, 60 to 70% of the revenue is generated by this DNP. It's an organic, enriched organic manure. So it has been granted a patent in 2012. So this is an innovative product which we have developed, and this is basically for integrated nutrient management. In 2012, lot of success stories were seen in many farmers' field. So as from the start of the company from 2007, 2008, we were focusing more on the field trials as well as farmers' feedback. And so in 2012, there was a breakthrough where one of the farmer called Surgar Patil. So he harvested around 161 metric ton of sugarcane per acre. Usually average farmer will harvest around 40 to 50 metric ton per acre. But he followed our Creagen INM practice along with organic, inorganic, and other plant growth promoter. He was able to get higher yield. So it was a biggest success story which was published in lot of newspapers. And 2012, we got our first patent for DNP, and so that what I mentioned. It is an innovative enriched organic manure, and it is we have in the both powder as well as granular form. And 2012, we earlier initial 2007 and 8, we were only focusing on some organic or biopest and biofertilizer. Whereas in 2012, we started touching different segments like crop special nutrients, micronutrients, water soluble fertilizer, and lot of innovative products along with the organic manure and other biofertilizers and biopesticides. And 2013, we established our incubation facility as GKVK as well. So as of now, we are incubated in both the universities, University of Agriculture Science Dharwad and University of Agriculture Science Bangalore. In 2014, we launched our Agri app. So it is where we are connecting farmers digitally with lot of technologies and m-commerce. And in 2015, we started collaborating with various institutes. Like these are the big players in the market. Coromandel, probably you might have heard about this company like Coromandel International Limited, Tropical Agro System, and even few of the export markets. In 2016, we established a state-of-art facility at Doddaballapur Doddaballapur. So we have a huge fermentation facility of 1 lakh liter per batch. So we have 3 fermenters and 3 huge fermenters of 15,000 liter capacity. And also we have set up a soil health lab where we have analyzed around 20,000 soil samples for free of cost. So this is a one of kind where we have imported lot of new instruments for analyzing the micronutrients, where the error may be of 0.01%. So this is the accuracy of the report what we generate. And also we have a R&D for especially for developing lot of innovative products like capsules, and even we are working on nano zinc and nano fertilizers. So this is the new innovation where we are doing at our R&D. In 2017, we expanded our business pan India. So now we are in 8 to 9 different states. Earlier, initial year, we started focusing only on Karnataka, only in Karnataka. But now we are focusing all South Indian and even UP, Maharashtra, then Haryana, Punjab, and many more states. And 2018, we launched a biofertilizer. This has also been patented. So we can say it is a new kind of biofertilizer. Usually in the market, we have either powder or the liquid formulation, but this is a granular one, where the major drawback of the biofertilizer is the shelf life. So we have developed the biofertilizer where we have enhanced the shelf life to 2 years, and more of colony formed unit per gram of cells. So this is a new technology which we have developed and also launched in the market. And 2019, we have enhanced the production capacity. So we have powder capacity of 1 lakh metric ton per annual, and granule of 2 lakh metric ton of 2 lakh metric ton per annual production capacity, and various other organic and inorganic products. So in 2020, 1 million download in Agri app. It is a major milestone, one of the milestone in our Agri app. So 1 million download. So almost 1 million farmers have enrolled in our Agri app. So here we are giving different services to the farmers through crop advisory, through soil testing service, and also through young commerce, and also the new services which we have been initiated from last 6 months, that is drone service. So 2021, so we are talking more about the farming for with a lot of precision agriculture as a service, where we are focusing more on that. So where the farmers, so we are talking about the IoT in agriculture, like where we can capture the biotic and abiotic stress in the field of the respective farmers to satellite images. And also we are using sensor based monitor for monitoring the moisture and soil's physical chemical parameters. So the new thing which is coming up, and still we are working on it. So this is about a decade journey of Creagen. So coming to our, I think this is not related to you. This is our production unit, and let me talk about our innovative products, whatever we have presently in with us, and we have launched, and also we are lot of trials is also carried out throughout different universities, and a lot of multi-location trial is also going on. So these are the few products which I like to talk, which is more innovative, and it's not a general product, it's an innovative product. So as I mentioned, DNP is a flagship product, patented product. This is a 50 kg bag. So where we have enriched with bio microbes like Azospellum, Pseudomonas, and nitrogen fixer, phosphosolubilizing bacteria, K-mobilizing bacteria, and all. And also we are working on biostimulus products, which is the talk of the town now. So recently it has been amended by fertilizer control order. We have come up with the potassium humate granules, amino acid granules, neem rich powder. This is all our in-house products which we develop. So we don't export anything from China. Import anything from China. We ourselves in-house we manufacture at our Dolpadapur unit. These are the biofertilizer which I'm talking about. So these are biofertilizer, nothing but these are the microbes which supplies nutrients to the plants. We have the culture, we have the strains where farmer can reduce 25% usage of a chemical fertilizer by using these strains or the product which is been embedded with these microbes. So these are various kinds of kits are available, and these are biopesticides. So these are the microbes or the fungal which controls lot of pests and diseases in the soil as well as foliar. And these are some crop specials for specific for the crops. This is an innovative kind of formulation which is in the market. And this is a new product which we have come up. It's called as solanaceous. So these products are specifically for the solanaceous crop, like tomato, potato, capsicum, and brinjal. So this product, water soluble fertilizer, is only for that particular crops, like solanaceous crop. So crop specific products we are coming up. This is for solanaceous, and also we are planning for the grapes, then plantation crops, and even for sugarcane. So different kind of fertilizers for the, so that it will be where the formulation what we develop, it will be more focused on the crop requirement, because each crop has their own requirement. If you talk about the sugarcane, more of zinc micronutrients is required, and if you talk about grapes, more of potash and phosphorus is required. So crop specific formulation or water soluble fertilizer we are coming up. And also this is a new kind of new kind of thing. I think probably we are the first company to come up with this formulation, where water soluble chemical fertilizer are mixed with the biopesticide. So here we can see the dual thing, like where we have the fertilizer which supplies nutrient to the plants, as well as we have the biopesticide, the biofertilizer, which controls the pest and diseases, and also as well as increases the fertilizer efficacy of the other chemical fertilizer whatever we apply. So we have come up with this new innovative new generation water soluble fertilizers. And as I mentioned, whatever the formulation we have developed, we have conducted a lot of trials at GKVK, and they also have generated a report saying that 25% of the recommended fertilizer can be saved by application of 2 bags of our patented product called DNP and Bio-NPK. So this is a report has been generated by GKVK. So by doing this, the farmers can have more return of investment, as well as they can save their soil fertility, and also they are also possible to get a sustainable or production throughout the one year on year. These are some of the farmer success story. So we have conducted a lot of we have taken the feedback from the farmers after usage of our products. So different farmers have their own feedback, and most of the farmers, almost 99% of the farmers has given a positive feedback. And from different states from the different states, it may be from AP, Telangana, Maharashtra, and even in northern states as well. This is a new thing which we are coming up in this financial year. It is Agritech at Creagen. We are focusing. We want to give Agritech offerings to the farmers. As I mentioned in my earlier slide, like drone or drone dropping of biofertilizers and biopesticide, and or even drone we can use as a service provided for spraying the chemical pesticide. And because labor is a major problem present farmers are facing, so by using the drone, by 2 people we can spray around 1 acre with the span of 15 minutes and with the 15 liters of water. So a lot of 1,000 to 2,000 acres we have conducted trial, and we have got a very positive response from the farmers, and consistently they're connecting us and connecting us for this kind of services. So automated AI enabled organic agriculture. So we are working on it, and we have a few of IoT guys from BMSI IT. They are here, and they're working on this particular project. And so this is a drone application which I was talking about. So we have already purchased some for 4 to 5 drones. And also we have a trained pilot. They identify the field based on the requirement to the Agri app, and they visit the field, understand whether it is, they will capture to the satellite, and they understand whether it is due to the abiotic or abiotic stress, and then they go for the application of nutrients or any chemical pesticides or organic pesticides, or even for the biofertilizer. biofertilizers. And this is a Bio Brahma. We have named it as a Bio Brahma. As I mentioned, this is a sensor based for equipment for monitoring the moisture and physical and chemical texture of the soils. Still we haven't. Still the POC is going on. So we are waiting for the result from our R&D team. And coming and as of now through the Agri app, we are receiving daily orders around 100 to 150 orders pan India. So we are trying to honor the orders through different logistic. So we are planning for the big way, and our aim, like in coming 2020-25, we want to reach globally. So we want to provide not only products, we also like to connect the farmers digitally for a lot of services. Especially we have recruited few scientists where they will address their day-to-day problems in their particular field. So they will be registering, and even we are also come up with an option where the farmers need to enroll their crop, and on daily basis from our Agri app, we send the push notification to the farmers, like alert push notification stating that today you need to irrigate, or today there is a chance of downy mildew, so you need to go and have a check and go for the application of the any these fungicides. So this is what push notification we send it through the WhatsApp. We are integrated to the WhatsApp, and that is how we are trying to connect the farmers. So next 5 years, we want to connect globally. We want to reach globally. So as of now, we are focusing more on across more on pan India. Thank you. So open for any questions and any question. Thank you, Dr. Manjunath. Open for discussion.
Thank you, ma'am, for that talk. Dear participants, if you have any queries, questions regarding the company or anything related to today's talk, please do post your questions in the chat box.
Thank you, Amita, for filling my yeah, we look forward to questions, please.
Yes.
Ma'am, do you offer student projects, ma'am, in your organization?
Yeah, we do have that facility. You can approach us. So you can, I shall discuss with our MD and management, and we do have a lot of interns who are working with it, from the food nutrition to even GKVK students, and even few of engineering students are also doing a lot of project, what I was talking about, that IoT, Bio Brahma and all. So we shall have a separate discussion after this presentation.
Ma'am, if you offer project, what will be the duration of this project work?
Yeah, it depends upon the project. I think we shall discuss this later. From 3 months to 6 months to 1 year, it depends upon the projects. We have a lot of projects coming up. Our the department people, the head of the department will take a call on that.
Ma'am, we have another question.
Yeah.
Is there any algal related product from Triagene which can support livestock management?
No, as of now, we don't have any products regarding the algal. But of course, yeah. But last years we have worked on that microalgal project. That is for the agri, not for the livestock, for agri. What I can say, for the soil application. Particularly for the livestock, we don't have any algal based product as of.
Participants, any other questions? Ma'am, we have one more question which has come in.
Yeah.
For startup projects, do government support is there in India related to agri? Can you list few?
Yeah, there are many. Like what I can say is every week we receive one or the other ad regarding this startup thing. So I have no much idea to the authentic people who work on that. But I think if you Google it, there are a lot of institutes are coming up with this startup kind thing, like funding from the government and all. So I have no much idea on that. If required, surely I can email you the institutes who are or the organized government organization who are providing this kind of facility for the startup companies.
Ma'am, so those were the questions.
Yeah.
Any other queries from participant end? I see quite a few students also have joined us.
Okay.
Student end, if you have any question with regards to mini project internship, I think you people can approach this organization.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for that valuable talk, and I should also extend my thanks to Dr. Basavaraju sir also. Both of you have given a very wonderful talk about the organization as well as the way we can start out and scale it up. So at the outset, I thank Dr. Basavaraj as well as Amita Ganapati for their valuable time and the talk. So at the outset, on behalf of the management, principal, HOD, staff and students, the Department of Biotechnology, the Oxford College of Engineering, we extend our heartfelt appreciation to both of you for being part of this STTP program and also enriching our participants with this vast knowledge on agri-based products as well as the technology. Thank you once again to both of you.
Thank you,
a lot.
Salma. Thank you, Salma. Thank you, Dr. Manjunath, for giving us an opportunity to interact with all the faculty members. And you're always welcome to visit our facility.
Thank you very much, sir, for your support. And we are looking forward for more and more such type of collaboration.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was really nice to connect. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.